Hi everybody, I'm here today with the beautiful Sasha Grace. Grace by name, Grace by nature. She's just so beautiful. And it's a pleasure for me to share her with you today. So Sasha, if you can just begin by telling us a little bit about you and your journey so that they can begin to connect with you, and then we will go from there.
Thank you, Shona. Thank you, and it's really such an honour to just to be here and be present with you guys, you beautiful ladies. So a little bit about my journey. Well, look, I guess I will start with talking about what it is I do now. Because that's sort of easier for me to begin. In my life now, I work with people, I work with clients to basically clear, and I have like an energy that comes through my hands that I can use online and face-to-face, that I also work as a channel, and so I use this energy to clear, all the old programming, all the old system, the let's just say 250,000 years of us being messed with by the system, by the indoctrinations, by the ones that convinced us, that oppressed us away from our divine knowing. So away from what we're actually doing on the planet now, what we have signed up to ascend into and to become now. And so I work on many levels. It's quite tricky to put it all into words, but about 14 years ago, I had an experience where I'd been doing a chakra meditation for about 2 or 3 years. And this one particular day, it was a very momentous time of my life. I did this chakra meditation, which is a very powerful meditation, because you're lighting every aspect of self up, right? So you're basically aligning yourself to the absolute, let's just say God self or source empowerment. And in this meditation, what happened was, when I got to the crown, so when I got to the last chakra, my hands all of a sudden contorted into this mudra. My mouth contorted upwards, and my whole body began to shake. And when I stood up, my body continued to shake. So I was holding an electrical frequency that also made me feel like I was 10 to 12 foot tall. And I could walk around, and my body continued to shake. And this was one of the incredible momentous moments of my life, where from that moment onwards, I was given the ability to be able to see through bodies and to be able to do this work and to be able to shift everything that I saw, or I want to say we were seeing, because I'm working with a divine source, and I work with very, very high beings who are able to work with me in that divinity. And so, yeah, I mean, look, that happened 14 years ago. I really just completely got brave enough to step into this work and say yes to it about 4 years ago completely. And to be honest, before that, I'd spent a lot of my life going through depression. When I was younger, I couldn't leave the house without having panic attacks. I experienced all sorts of chronic fatigue, illnesses, and I spent a lot of my time not wanting to be here on the planet, and dealing with a darkness that I didn't know where to put, and I didn't know what to do with. So I went on a journey of exploration there, where I began to unravel, and I began to understand a deeper part of myself, and I began to receive messages that allowed me to to really take the processes I needed to clean out any toxicity. So to clean out, for example, the beliefs and the experiences that were holding on in my body, that were containing this fatigue, for example. And just to talk about that fatigue for a second, a big part of my journey, because I didn't receive a supported upbringing. I didn't receive a supported, loving environment. It was the opposite of that. So a big part of my journey was going in and accessing that child when she was going through hell, and she was feeling unloved and hurt and abused, and going to her at different ages in meditation and holding her and telling her I love her and she is amazing. And let me just say that without her, I wouldn't have become who I'm becoming today. And who I'm becoming today is her. So she is the play. She is my blueprint. She is the one that chose to come onto this planet and become something great, which is why she chose such a screwed up beginning, so that she could get through that and she could strengthen what I like to call the love muscle, which is that once we've overcome those things, that love energy becomes so much stronger and so much greater. And for anyone who's had these experiences in suffering, you would understand that when you go through suffering, it allows you, when you come at the other end, it allows you the ability to reach out to others and understand where they are and help them through their pain and their deep oppression and all the things that they are suffering through. So I see it almost like it's been a very shamanic journey. I used to work a lot with spirits when I was younger. From the age of 8, I was talking to spirits. I was doing seances. I was working with that. I had to get to a point as an empath where I said no to all of it. I had to do a lot of door closing. And I really just had to make a very firm choice that I was only going to work with source, so that none of that energy was leaking. And so, yes, I find myself here today working with incredible people all over the world, online and face to face, and it is such a deep honor to walk through their beliefs with them and help them switch them off and help them unravel and help them step into their own level of empowerment and help them access their blueprint, and help them access their activated self. Finally, in this work, I can say I'm here. There's nothing more for me to be doing. And I love that, because the juxtaposition of what I was going through before, it wasn't like that. I was always never feeling satisfied. Now I am, and I'm very excited about this time. It's a very magical time.
Yeah, so it's wonderful to have you with us, Sasha. And you made a very important point within that about embracing the childlike wonder. And flowing with that through your life, and that being at the core of what you do, because it's in that wonder where the magic happens, and the miracles happen. And yeah, it's wonderful for you to have mentioned that, and also how going through tough times actually gives you the wisdom to help others, and yeah, many of us can resonate with that one. So what do you feel is your main purpose on this planet, this earth space?
I want to bring that back to my 14-year-old. Now she made a very firm agreement with me my 14-year-old, as in me. I also have a child who's 16, but my 14-year-old inside me. I wanna bring that back to then, because when she was in that state of fear, she realized at one point, at 14 actually, that fear wasn't real. And at that stage, I started studying affirmations and all of that stuff. You know, Louise Hay, I started going on that full journey. And I began to realize that fear wasn't real, that it was really just a cultivation of my own mind. And from 14, I understood the misery I was in, and my heart at that stage was screaming to be a part of the mission to help people away from that place. So away from that place of fear and into empowerment. So yeah, that's where that began, really. And yeah, many years later, here I am doing that. So yeah, so and just to close that question off, thank you. My mission is to bring people back into their blueprint, into what they have signed up here on the planet to do, so that we can be in service to others, so that we together can all save this planet. We can create light beams and light fields around us, and one person can affect so many others. So if I affect just one person, they're going to go out and affect hundreds and hundreds of people, and one person can do so much. So yes, that is my gift to this planet, I feel.
That's a wonderful gift to give as well, because it's the beginning of as you say, a ripple effect that spreads out. And you know, as we're coming together in the group here, that those ripples, because we're all creating them, are bigger and stretching out further already by what we're all doing. So based on what you've just said, where would you like to see the human race get to in the future?
I would like to see an enlightened planet. I would like to see us reaching out and being kind to each other. I would like to see us having the understanding that the moment we judge another human being, we are judging ourselves. And so I would like to see us being clean of that energy, so that we can all hold hands without the separation. And I personally feel that that's where the planet is taking us anyway, collectively, as we are ascending. Yeah. So peace, you know, deep peace. And yeah, this is, you know, oh, I want to see world peace. Sure, I want to see world peace. But yes, of course, it comes from within, doesn't it? It comes from within. Yes. Yeah, it does. It comes from the very core of our being. So what is it that really presses on your heart at this time and is pushing you forward? Okay, so at this time, I am being called to take the next level up for myself. I am being called to use my voice and to allow myself to get over the smaller part of me that says you can't do this, and step up anyway. You know, just before I came on here, I was like, you know, who am I? Who do I think I am to do this? Who do I think I am to do this? And I actually made a video of that, and I've just posted it because this is where I'm challenging myself. So my next level is to overcome that challenge and step out and speak and be the voice and be heard, because I am becoming multidimensional. What can I say? This is happening to me. I close my eyes, I breathe, and I have high divine beings all around me. I have multidimensional sacred geometry being crystallized through my body. I am channeling through the night. I'm channeling as I wake up. I'm channeling as I write it down. And I mean, it's solid and it's real and it's ready and it's coming through. And so, oh my God, I can't even express to you how huge this is, and how huge this is, that what's happening to me is enormous. And at the same time, you know, people like you and this beautiful opportunity, the symposium here, are reaching out, and these things are happening. And I've said yes to this. I've said yes to speaking up in public. So what do I do? The opportunity is coming. Do I go, oh, I'm just going to go, oh my God, I can't do this, and go back into playing small and hiding? Or do I embrace it and really allow the activated me to step up? And just for a second, I would just love to talk about this for a second, because the most recent epiphany I've been having, it's began about 6.5 months ago, where I was given a download, and I was shown this Merkaba in my heart. So I was shown the upward facing triangle in my heart, and placing that there, which represents the divine masculine, and over the top of that, placing the downward facing triangle, which represents the divine feminine. And I was shown then to draw in sky energy, so Father Sky energy, and link it in with that sacred Merkaba, or that Star of David, but it becomes a Merkaba when it becomes 3D. And then linking that in with earth energy, so Mother Earth energy, and breathing that into the heart. And so now, after doing that for 6.5 months, my experience over that time has been, naturally, I have been cleaning out internally within me all the unhealthy patriarchal energy that's also being trying to be cleared out on the planet at this time, within the masculine and the feminine. And in that experience, what I discovered was a belief that was in the way of me moving forward, which I removed with these incredible tools that I have. And then all of a sudden, I made a contract with myself, because I realized that when I received an idea in the past, I wasn't doing anything about it. I would get an idea to go and do this, and then I would go, oh, nah, and I would just pass it through, or distract myself, or shift focus. But what's happened is, since I've done this meditation and I made this contract with myself, when I receive this information, I choose in the feminine, I choose to implement in the masculine without hesitation. And so there lies the natural activated balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine once the clearing out and the cleansing has happened. And that's what I'm experiencing now in my activated self, and it is profound. That's why I feel I'm ready, and I'm getting this massive, multi-dimensional activation, because I'm activated. It's happened. So yeah, this is really big here on the planet now. The shifting, the polarities of the masculine and the feminine, and the rebalancing out internally in ourselves, so that we can really activate and master ourselves on that level. That's what we're being called to do. It's a big time. And so yeah, that's where I'm sitting now with my spiritual world. Anyway.
Yeah. It's kind of connecting that with all people in the worldwide sphere, and the normality of it all, and the fact that it is the realness of all that is. There's no hype or falseness in it. It is the reality. The connection with source, the connection with the God self is what it's all about. That is the source of all things in all human beings. And your enthusiasm, your love for it, your joy for it is absolutely wonderful. And so in the core of you, what is your vision for going forward in your next phase? What do you feel is your core ability going forward?
Wow. You know, as you ask me that question, I get this element of, almost fear that comes in, you know, which it's like, oh my God, really? You're really asking this question? Because I know it's big.
It's your
and I
calling, that's why.
Yeah, and I know I have to overcome that part of myself, you know. My vision, my vision with this next stage is to allow myself to be a beacon of what it is to allow my absolute incredible self to be seen without caring about what other people think, without allowing anyone else's insecurities to make me small, or allowing that incredible self to be a pinnacle, to be an example for others, to say, let's do this. We are incredible. Let's not suppress this by putting labels on it. Let's be incredible. So being a beacon for that really is, for me, the next phase in my life. And yes, I feel that it means getting up, and it means speaking and making this public and bringing this onto stages and allowing myself to accept myself completely in that and say yes to what I know I'm meant to be doing. Exactly. You know, this next phase, this is what's happening. It's happening. So let's go.
Yeah, it's time to fulfill the purpose. Yeah. And, you know, put yourself out there, because, you know, without any attachment, in full acceptance of who you are unapologetically. And you're already kind of showing that is the case with you anyway, because you're in your core space, you're in your joy with it all, and you just ooze, you know, the love that you have for yourself and for all people, to bring everybody out in their aspects, because you're just so wonderfully cute in how you express yourself and your aspect. It's lovely, because you do it in such a unique way, but that's perfect, because that's who you are. And everybody is unique. Everybody's aspect is unique. And, you know, the fact that, you know, you are just this little beacon of love. That's just how you come across. And the fact that you've touched on, you know, hard beginnings, and you've still come to this space where you are that beacon of light. It gives belief, it gives hope to people that don't feel that they can achieve what you've achieved. And, you know, those people that have these giftings that you have but are pushed down, what would you say to them to begin them on their journey to where you are, because you're in such a wonderful space?
Okay, the first thing I would say to them is that they're not alone, and they are being held, and to not not allow themselves to overwhelm themselves with their mind. The first core step I would ask them, I would say would be to bring yourself back into peace and check in with the solar plexus. So the solar plexus sits below the rib cage, and visualize, and go in and visualize what your child looks like, and see her sitting on a chair, and observe her, and observe whether she looks happy or not, and let her be exactly how she is. And then once you've observed her, to allow her to see you, and then walk up to her and ask her to tell you everything she needs to tell you, to allow her to get mad if she wants to scream, to wail like a banshee, to tell you that she's not safe, that she's angry, this is not okay. Allow yourself to listen to her. Listen to her. She is your core self that you have been denying. You have been putting her away, and you have been treating her like a bad parent that you wouldn't want to be treated like. So when you speak to yourself like that, you're sending her away. You're sending her back and down. So when she expresses herself like this, then you hold her. You hold her and you tell her she is safe, and that you are there for her, and that you love her, and that you tell her that you're going to be checking in with her often, and that you're sorry that you weren't there for her before, and she is doing an amazing job. And in that core, delicate, gentle moment is your gift. That is where your gift will come from. It will not come from beating yourself up. It will come from gentleness. It will come from bringing you back to that core you that deserves your love. And really, just a very simple exercise I want to share, that I did actually put out in a video recently, that I just found very helpful. And again, I think we can often overwhelm ourselves with too much when we get told to love ourselves. You know, it's like when you're in the thick of depression, what does that even mean? How do I start? So I feel that a really amazing place to start is at the end of the day, check in with yourself. Make a contract, or put a sign on your wall that says, I'm gonna check in with myself at the end of the day, and I'm gonna check in, and I'm gonna look at all the things that I did that were hard for me to do, but I did them anyway, and I'm gonna say well done to myself, and I'm gonna say well done, that was hard for you, and I love you, you did that anyway. Now this is where you start. You have got to start. This is starting with the core self, starting with the gentleness, and that will begin to fill the goldenness of you up into that solar plexus and into that child. So you will feed her innate wisdom and her innate inner knowing that she will begin to flourish in. So this is the core, and if you start anywhere, at the end of the day, check in with yourself. Honor all the beautiful things that you did, and honor the highlights. Look at the highlights that happen. So begin to shift the way the neurons in your brain work. The neurons will automatically want to go to the negative. Look at the highlights, and you'll find your mind will just want to maybe choose negative experiences. Okay, well, what in that negative experience was good? What did you learn from that? And you start turning your mind around that way. That's a patterning. It's like a yoga class. It won't be comfortable at first. It'll take some time. But after a little while, your neurons will be naturally start patterning yourself into the positive. When you choose that, you know, that direction instead of that direction, you will begin to step up. It's a slow journey, but patterning is fast. You just have to make a decision and a choice to do it.
Yeah, and that's the important thing. It is a choice. It doesn't happen unless you make the choice and take action to do that. And Sasha is waiting to help you. She's just so enthused to help you, and she you know, and I can see that, I can feel that, and you know, if she connects with you, do connect with her, because she's there for you. And that's why we're talking, so that you can connect and go to her for her wisdom and her giftings, to bring you out. But that was a wonderful introduction that she just gave on how to love you and connect with your inner wisdom and innate, unique self, and your capabilities within that. So, Sasha, is there anything else that is speaking to you that you wish to express here now?
Wow. Is there anything else? Yes. So this is all that came through just then. Be brave. Be brave.
Absolutely.
Be brave. Overcome the other stuff and be brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Courage is a key divine feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. It's a wonderful message to finish on, because courage is, you know, when you're in the realms of knowing it all, in the light and the dark and all that sort of side of things, the courage and the bravery is key to moving forward, and being who you are throughout your experiences. So what a wonderful note to finish on. Thank you very, very much, Sasha, for being with us today. And as you saw, she's really enthused and enjoy to be present. And if you connect with Sasha, please do contact her. You can get her details through our website, itsatoughworldouthere.com, and she's keen to connect you to your core wisdom and innate abilities with the wonderful gifts that she has. Thank you very much, Sasha. It's been an honor to have you here and share your joy.
Thank you so much, Shona, and thank you, beautiful Heather. You know, I feel so honoured to be sharing this space with you, and thank you for, you know, for really allowing this opportunity for us all to step up in ourselves. You know, it's such a beautiful thing you're both doing. So I really appreciate you guys, and I know that you're working just non-stop. You never sleep. My God. So I honor you so much for this work. It is needed, and it is incredible, and you are inspiring people's magic. So blessings to you both so very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha.